So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use my thumb and just press it in. This is a little bit different, right? Because I don't have that rabbit to drag it off of. So I'm gonna push it into the edge of the pane and the rabbit. And I can hold the wad of glaze here in my other hand, which helps me kind of keep it going. All right. You can keep working the glazing too as you're getting there, so you keep it nice and soft. It should not be hard. It should not have chunks of stuff in it. It should be nice and clean. If you don't put the lid on tightly, or if it dries out a little bit, you might get some chunks in there. And you just want to make sure you get rid of those. Okay, so here comes the fun part. So now you got this nice glazing here. But now, this is not what you want your window to look like, right? On the outside. You want a nice, clean, edge here on the outside of the window. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit. And right now it just looks kind of messy. So I'm gonna take my glazing knife, which the only thing I use this tool for is glazing. I don't want any of the edges, you know, getting messed up or chipped or scraped or anything like that. So this is the only thing I use this tool for. And it's just a simple putty knife with a beveled edge there. And I always, before I start cutting the glazing off, I always dip it in some mineral spirits. Make sure it's nice and clean. All right, so you start in a corner and you get the angle that you want. You can always start farther out and cut more later. And this is what I've learned, because when I first started doing this, I found that the glazing would sort of drag and create these like really bumpy edges, but you really want it to be nice and clean. So when I first started, I was holding it up like this. The more horizontal to the window pane you can get, the better. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. You're literally just cutting away that glazing. So you just want to keep nice, even pressure as you pull it across, and you can see we get that nice, smooth, clean line. And now you can see why I don't want to hit any of those points, because that will, yep, you can see I got a little drag there. And then you can just go back and pick up this glazing. It comes up super easy. And you can clean up the muntin just by doing that. And you can go back through and smooth out any parts that you think don't look that good. And I'm gonna come back and clean up those edges anyway. All right, sometimes you get a little extra there. If you're careful, you can just kind of pick it right up, and it'll keep that nice smooth line that you made. All right, we're gonna do this last one. Get in the corner. Again, if you make some like little mistakes, or maybe it looks too thick, you can always go back and recut it. You know, if it's too thin, then you have to rebed it, and that takes longer. So, okay. So now you see my corners are not perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back through and just clean up the corners. I found this to be sort of the hardest part to do, and I'm not perfect at it, but after doing a lot of these, it's definitely, every time it gets better and better. And you can even cut away, like if you think you just have a little too much in one spot. Now that I got this nice pane here, you can see how nice it is. And then you gotta let this set for a good 3 days till, you know, it forms like a little skin on the edge there. So as far as efficiency, I'm gonna show you what I've learned on how to make this process go a little bit faster, because if you do one pane at a time, this feels like a really long time.